The following day, Homo called Professor Huang to inquire about his progress. "I'm on a date right now, it's not a good time to talk," the professor replied casually, adding that he had another rendezvous lined up immediately after, and yet another after that. No sooner had he spoken than the woman he was with, along with her cousin, the cousin confidently declared, "My skills are absolutely top-notch." Later that day, another woman arrived at the bar looking for Professor Huang. Though told he wasn't there, she pointed out that his hover car was parked outside. The bartender, growing impatient, insisted, "I said he's not here, end of story." Just then, another patron yelled, "Old Mo, there's a rat floating in my beer." Unfazed, Mo retorted, "No, there isn't." Eventually, the woman left, and Professor Huang emerged from under the table where he'd been hiding. His friend Carl sighed, "I really envy you, you can have any woman you want." Others joined in, echoing the same admiration. Lonely men, lonely women, all you have to do is bring them together. The gathering was held at the Springfield Planetarium. Homer and Marge arrived to show their support, only to find that Professor Huang's admirers had already been waiting for some time. The professor arrived late and openly confessed to the crowd that he had used advanced technology to attract them. But now, he announced, "It's time to close this event and set the singles free." Everyone soon found themselves paired off, everyone, that is, except the professor, who wound up alone. Left with little else to do, he resigned himself to stargazing through a telescope. Just then, a robot he had built approached him gently. "It seems there's still someone who truly loves me," the professor murmured to himself. Meanwhile, Marge brought the children to visit Grandpa. Lisa presented a handmade card, while Bart, characteristically, brought nothing but himself. As soon as they entered, they noticed the elderly residents were still lost in vivid hallucinations, dancing with imaginary partners. Marge realized the medication hadn't worn off yet. Seeing one old man whose pants had dropped to the floor, Bart immediately looked for a way to profit from the situation. "You don't have to tell me twice." It turned out the caregiver had already collected a full jar of wedding rings from the confused seniors. Bart brought several of the older residents home for a card game and, using every trick in the book, convinced them to hand over their valuables. "They have no idea what's going on, and you're taking advantage of them?" Marge exclaimed in dismay. She promptly returned them to the nursing home. Unfortunately, one of the older individuals fainted and died on the spot. Marge stormed in and confronted the caregiver. "You never should have given them such strong medication." The caregiver fired back, "If I don't medicate them, how am I supposed to binge watch my shows?" Undeterred, Marge threatened to report her to the authorities. "Like I care," the woman scoffed. In a fit of anger, Marge yanked the pencil from the caregiver's hair, and the woman instantly became subdued. Without the medication, however, the seniors grew listless and withdrawn. The caregiver finally admitted she had stashed the remaining drugs in the library. In what felt like no time at all, Grandpa located the box of pills, poured out half, and swallowed them down. Marge rushed to stop him, but Grandpa insisted, "I'm going to find my Mona." He stepped outside and found himself transformed back into his youthful self, his beloved Studebaker waiting just for him. He drove through the streets until he reached the banquet hall, where he swept his beloved Mona into a graceful dance. With a snap of his fingers, he turned her into a bobblehead version of herself. Marge hurried over to intervene, but Grandpa refused to believe any of it was real. It wasn't until she brought him face to face with his grandchildren that he finally accepted the truth. With a heart full of nostalgia, he said goodbye to Mona and to the memory of 25-cent packs of cigarettes.